This time on Kawaii-Fi Radio, it's a new anime season and there's some unique shows to talk about.
The curtain rises on this off-kilter magic fantasy in which the power of being jacked crushes everything.
He casts fists.
He's the boy who lived.
It's not even the boy who lived, it's the boy who left.
We decide all black holes are linked.
You're saying that black holes are a urinal. They all feed into the same spot.
I'm not saying that.
And Kenny has some wise advice.
Childhood is fleeting. Anime is eternal.
It's over 9,000! NANI?
Configure the language logic interface for Japanese.
Kawaii-Fi.
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 Kawaii-Fi Radio.
Konnichiwa, and welcome. You're tuned in to Kawaii-Fi Radio, the podcast we dive into the world of anime and manga. I'm Kyle, and with me are my co-hosts Aaron and Kenny.
Hello.
Yo.
It's another boys' club.
Yeah, 2 in a row.
It's not for very good reasons, unfortunately. Well, one's a good reason.
Both are good reasons.
Both. Well, I mean, they're good reasons to have the day off, but one's unfortunate and one's exciting. So Tifa is off to Japan today.
Yeah, we finally got rid of her. Bye.
And Kiralee is unfortunately unwell, succumbing to the spicy cough.
Finally.
So,
Okay,
finally.
look, it's unfair to say it, but it's like you feel like everyone should get their turn
It's a
catching
rite of
the plague.
passage.
Although no one deserves the plague,
No
but
one
it's just
deserves it.
surprising when you meet someone who didn't catch it for all that period. Like I was the same. Like I didn't get it till the end of last year.
I honestly thought I would, skip the whole thing, that I wouldn't catch it. And I almost felt disappointed in myself when I did. I'm just like, I let myself down somehow.
Aaron, I think Aaron, you were the first.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you followed shortly after.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, we're healthy, and so as far as we're aware from the chats we've had for Kiralee, the first couple of days have been quite horrible, but she's already on the road to recovery. So our thoughts are with her, and we're sending her Uber Eats if she wants them.
Get well soon, Kiralee.
Yeah.
Happy your
We miss
little ones
you.
got over it fast.
Have a happy meal.
Man, I could go a happy
Bon
meal. You go a
appetit.
cheeseburger? I could go a cheeseburger.
Well, funny you mentioned that.
Oh.
I might be having
Destroy
some
a
later.
cheeseburger.
Oh, burger. Now, this episode, we're a little early, but it is to do with just a bit of an odd start point for the new anime season.
Well, some of them have already started.
Yeah, so we are talking about the new anime season. It is the 2023 spring anime season.
Boing.
And it is always busy. It is always busy. I've just realized I think the spring anime season sting might have to be replaced, because if it's poisoning pigeons in the park, and we keep getting copyright hit for that.
Even though Dennis Leary, the guy who did the song, basically made it public domain, right?
Yeah, he may have said it's public domain, but the people who own the rights to the record is another thing altogether, because corporations are stupid.
Dicks.
Down with the corpos.
Yeah. So this is
Wake
a
up,
new
samurai.
anime season on the doorstep. Some of them are starting this week. Some of them are starting 2 weeks away, but it is going to be another good season. There's a lot of returning. There's a lot of returning, and there's a lot of new, interesting series to check out as well.
A bunch of new isekais, but that was to be expected.
Oh, look, if there isn't 2 or 3 isekais every season, is it an anime season?
2-3 is understating.
I'm saying minimum. It's a quiet season. We still got 2 to 3 isekais.
They well past that bar.
Now, if you are enjoying what you've heard, hit subscribe, join Kawaii-Fi Community. There's the YouTube channel, which is kind of in a bit of a hiatus status at the moment, just while we get a few things sorted out with the new studio and house. And if you are one of our wonderful podcast listeners, please make sure you head over there. Also,
We'll do cooking shows from there once it's set up.
we were talking about this. Like, we're going to do some recreate
things.
anime cooking stuff. So yeah,
Strip cooking.
yeah, strip beef. Yeah.
That's what I meant. Chicken strips.
Yeah, chicken strips.
No, wait. Like, how is that? Do you just take off a bit?
No, you cut it into strips.
Yeah.
Like teriyaki style.
No, yes, we're a family show.
Yeah, family friendly, yeah.
Family.
There's also a Patreon with additional
about
content you might want to
family.
check out. More on that later. But now we do need to start off with looking back at what has just come out.
Why do we watch that?
Definitely in my top 5.
season in review.
And these two knuckleheads just turned around and started looking at the anime figures going, wow, they're behind us.
Yeah, you said look back.
Look back at what's just come out, and it turns out
Godzilla is looking
And
over your
Lupin.
shoulder. And Lupin and Demon Slayer. So let's talk about the season that's gone by because it was massive.
Bloody packed, and
It was.
I missed a lot.
I missed a lot as well.
I think we all did. We need to work on our aim.
So look,
We're a very professional anime podcast.
we are very, very. So there's been a lot this season to talk about, and unfortunately, there wasn't really enough time to watch everything. Even with some of us having time off at Christmas and whatnot. It's just that there hasn't been a suitable amount of time available to everyone. So there was just that many. So we're going to start off with the one that I think across the entire team we've all enjoyed, and that's Trigun Stampede.
Yeah.
Yeah, it led the pack by a stampede.
Yeah. So for those who aren't aware, Trigun Stampede is a reboot of the original Trigun manga series, which aired in, I think it was late 90s, early 2000s.
One of your early favorites, Kyle, as well.
I've got cell artwork from it. So
Dang.
yeah, it played a big part after the initial Neon Genesis. And this was done by Studio Orange, who you will have recognized if you've watched Beastars. Their CG is second to none.
It's so alive.
I don't think any other studio can get as close as they do.
And I think you wouldn't have wanted a different CGI studio for Vash Stampede's, like, his sort of like almost clownish actions, the way he sort of stumbles over himself and stuff like that.
Movement's phenomenal.
The way it was,
hands
the way
down.
it was handled by Studio Orange was perfect.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, for many years we have given CG anime a lot of grief. And
for good reason. Sometimes I still have nightmares about X-Arm.
Yep. And when that wasn't that long ago.
You think X-Arm's bad? You remember Gibiate?
Yeah. So
That was in the vault.
yeah. It's bad. Like some of the stuff that's come out has been bad, but Studio Orange has repeatedly proven that they can do good CG, and it is their bread and butter, and they do good. And like we have seen, like I think it was like Polygon Studios are meant to be good CG, but they're seriously lagging behind quality wise compared to Orange. They did Demi-Human or Demi, I can't remember what it was called.
It was that good.
It was a CG one. They did Blame, Knights of Sidonia, and so on.
Oh, them.
And
Yes.
they're good, but there are moments where the characters look dead. Whereas Studio Orange, they always are animated and active and have they've got a soul to them. So
Like the problem I find with a lot of like CG and even like regular anime is like characters in the background will just be completely still stone faced.
yeah,
Whereas Trigun didn't have that.
no, they did a really good job.
Everybody was alive and moving.
I think it also says a lot about the quality that Orange put out, because they don't put a lot of shows out, and because of that, the shows they put out, they throw everything at it.
They
They
can
make sure
focus.
it's good.
You know what would really benefit from it? Attack on Titan.
Oh yeah. I do wonder. I mean, I know Studio Orange do support works for some other studios for CG, but I do wonder if Mappa would reach out to them.
Like,
that.
I would love to see them just redo the whole thing. Because if it was 3D, I feel like it'd stand a lot to gain, and like there'd be a lot more like.
I think
in it.
I think some of it could be really well handled.
I think we got to leave it a decade.
Oh yeah, no, I am tapped out on Attack on Titan.
Me too.
Look,
It's
Attack on Titan is dead to me.
big and glorious as
Seconded.
it has been. It's just
Look, I mean, if you want to, honestly, like for the end of the story, like just go read the manga.
fight us in the comments.
Well,
Honestly,
I mean, it's
the whole
just-
thing's like the Titanic.
Yeah, you're just
Pun
waiting for
included.
it to go down. Yeah.
Attack on Titanic.
Like, I mean,
I would watch that crossover.
I would too. I'd like to see the Colossal Titan throwing the Titanic.
Okay, but the
Paint
question
me like
is,
one of your Titan girls, Jack.
would they turn into the Titanic? Like, would there be like Armor Titanic and Beast Titanic?
No, it'd be like the Neon Genesis train crossover.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
Yeah. But yeah, look, Trigun Stampede, we're going way off the topic, but this is the story of Vash the Stampede. He's a gunslinger who's wandering around this planet humanity has, landed on and are now forced to live on because they have nowhere to get home. And he's trying to basically I guess you could say, like, atone for what he feels are his past sins and what his brother Knives has done to humanity and the world. There's a lot more into it, and I don't want to spoil it for those who haven't watched it, but we've got 12 episodes and there's another season coming. It's just really good fun, and it has the same soul that the original series has, just a slightly different story.
Which is so hard to capture, and it's like, they have...
Well, like, what I found is, Vash is like the polar opposite of who he was in the original. Because in the original, he was so like bubbly and lively and full of like happiness and like,
I mean, he's
wacky.
He still has that, but I think
He's a lot more solemn.
Yeah, and that's to do with the original series coming out before the manga had finished and before they'd actually decided what Vash's backstory was. Whereas
There was a lot of that in the like 90s and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, like, do you guys remember Love and Peace?
Love and peace, and his obsession with donuts.
Yeah.
Like, you know, these were all things made for the anime as opposed to being taken from the manga. So
But the other thing that threw me way off was Millions Knives' name being literal.
yeah.
Like, when that happened, I was like, oh my god, oh, it's not just a name. It's not just a name.
Yeah, and it's great because, you know, in the original series, like, he was just kind of dropped in at the end.
He was just like a Vash clone, like literally a Vash clone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, twin brother sort of thing.
Yeah, but like...
behaviorally and functionality wise is just the same. I am interested to see, because I haven't watched the last episode yet because I haven't had time. But I'm going to be really interested if they, because you've seen the ending of the original,
Yes.
and you also saw the functionality of the arm
Yes.
in the original. I'm interested to see if that reappears. Because
I
he's
don't
got a
think
he's got
it
a
would.
he's got a bionic arm in this series.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Do you think they... No.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in
I
the
mean,
next part
it
of
would harken back to, you know, the original anime's fandom, and I could see them sort of leaning into that, but I also see them wanting to be faithful to the source material.
Well, this is the thing. I'm fairly certain that is in the source material, but this is... They're not being 100% faithful to the source material, but they're being faithful enough to provide a new story.
Faithful to the spirit, yes.
Well, I mean, they're doing a Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. They're not retreading old ground. Like, they're keeping the same feel and vibe and experience, but they're making sure that you're not seeing something you've seen before. And I think that's the best way to do it. If you are going to reboot a series that has been done, 20 years ago, and it was adapted differently from the source material, you need to make sure your version stands differently from it. And I appreciate it.
And I think there's like a nice, big, long, protracted argument with the, manga purists and stuff like that to be had there.
Yeah, no, one guy I work with is like 100% obsessed with the manga and the original anime. I'm like, no, you need to watch this. He's like, absolutely not. I refuse because it's not what it's supposed to be. I'm like...
I can understand their perspective, but I also understand the idea of, embracing new things.
I appreciate it, but at the same time, like...
Why restrict yourself if you loved it?
That'd be like being a big fan of Neon Genesis and then not wanting to watch the new films, despite them having the original voice cast, the original writing, and, actually bringing the story to a conclusion.
Or like loving Neon Genesis and not reading the Campus like manga.
Yeah.
Because the Campus manga is like nothing to do with the original, but it's so entertaining.
Yeah.
Although there is one creepy part in it.
Oh, it's not surprising.
Shinji smiles.
Wait, that's not canon.
Well, it
Shinji
isn't,
doesn't
so it's fine.
experience happiness.
There's like a full page of him smiling with a gun.
Oh.
And it's set in a school.
Yeah.
So guess what happens next?
Oh, the other kids with their pop talk.
Isn't there it's like zombie apocalypse-y type thing, isn't it? Campus apocalypse?
No, well, it is Campus Apocalypse, but it's not like zombie apocalypse sort of thing.
All of the students turn into Evas?
Well, the angels are people and the Evas are guns. Like, they're weapons, sorry.
Yeah.
So each person's got like a different weapon. Shinji's got a gun. I think
Shinji's got
Kaoru's got a whip. And Rei's got a scythe.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't remember what Asuka's got.
Nunchucks. No.
I mean, look, she's probably my least favorite character, so it makes sense that I wouldn't remember.
Everyone's got
Fight Aaron in the comments.
Okay. Best girl is Mari.
Yeah.
Come at me.
Actually, I have some exciting news to share with you.
Yes.
Oh, actually, it might be exciting because you can't come to HoshiCon. I got Mari's voice actor.
Is she coming in person?
No,
Oh.
just digital.
Okay.
We can't afford to fly people from the US.
I was
yet.
gonna say, man, like I would love a signature.
Yeah. She's really lovely though.
They all are.
Yeah.
By the way, this is still related to Trigun.
Yeah. Same period. Anyway, Trigun Stampede. Go watch it. Crunchyroll Worldwide.
Good fun.
Campfire cooking in another world with my absurd skill. Do you like isekais where the person doesn't have to be the hero? Do you like slow cooking shows? Do you like big doggos?
Did you just say that Kenny likes isekais?
No. I said he likes isekais, which are not the normal one where they're the hero.
Yes, but at the same time, I have absolutely no love for the new vending machine one coming out.
Yeah, Kyle.
I fight you on that.
I will fight you on this in the comments.
Ding ding.
Thank you for your purchase.
Okay, but look.
So, campfire cooking in another world.
This one is just, it's a nice chill delight because it just combines all the best parts of Yuru Camp
It
with
does.
an isekai.
And the recipes are good too.
Yeah, the recipes are actually decent.
Yeah.
I've tried a couple.
So this is a guy who gets isekai'd. He's a middle-aged office worker.
Well, he gets isekai'd with a few others.
Yeah.
And like they turn out to be like, the warrior, the priest, the mage and stuff like that because they have those kind of abilities. And his singular ability is he can buy
Online
stuff
shopping.
online from Japanese grocery stores.
I've come up with a new recipe.
yeah.
Recipe.
The funny thing is, as well, is like in that scene, he's like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to be very useful to you. My abilities look rubbish and this looks bad. And they're like, yeah, okay, here's some hush money.
They give him some hush money and he spends it to hire an adventuring party. I mentioned this last time. It's like, you never see that. You always see people in isekais becoming the adventurers.
But he's like, this kingdom seems hella dodge. I'm getting out of here. Hires the adventuring party, goes to another kingdom, goes to the other kingdom. And they're all like, yeah, we're all leaving that kingdom too because it's hella dodge. And also like, they're like starting wars with people. So not cool. And he's like, wow, yeah, I was right. Cool.
But it basically turns out that he does actually have an absurd, overpowered skill because the stuff he cooks, depending on the quality of ingredients, boosts people's stats. If he had lingered with the adventuring party, they'd be even more powerful.
Yeah.
I'm hearing Shield Hero.
Little bit.
Shield
but
hero without any of the angst.
No angst, just happy.
Yeah. Like, imagine Shield hero was a slice of life.
Well, Shield Hero if he had have left that kingdom.
Yeah, just bug it off.
Oh, look, based on the manga, no.
Oh, okay.
It's just as bad in the other kingdoms.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
unpleasant.
Anyway, Campfire Cooking Another World. Guess what? Crunchyroll.
He eventually crews up with a monstrous hound, which is an overpowered aspect of a god.
Yeah,
and a slime, which he
literally
teaches
a
to
Fenrir.
talk. That the slime takes care of like
Sui is amazing.
whenever he buys food from the Japanese cooking store, he's like, oh, now I've got all this rubbish, the food containers and stuff. He feeds it to the slime.
It actually levels the slime up.
It eats the trash. It levels up. It can now dissolve enemies.
Good boy, Rimuru.
He can also clean plates and stuff.
Oh, so it's like by the grace of the gods with the cleaning slimes.
Yep. And he can also create potions like Rimuru.
Like by the
It's-
grace of the gods as well.
Yep.
They take notes from each other, I think.
Yeah.
I
But it's
think
good. Like,
Slimes are basically like a universal thing.
yeah. I mean, like, you go at anything back to like the what is it? Dragon
Quest.
Dragon Quest. And there were different varieties of slimes that did different things. And ever since then, it's just become a staple.
Well, Dragon Quest is massive in Japan.
Huge.
I'm a friendly slime. So yeah, Campfire Cooking Another World, highly recommend. It's relaxed, it's funny, it makes you hungry. It makes you
Recipe.
hungry. Let's go over to, unsurprisingly, a romance series, and this
I
is
wonder whose choice this is.
Emma's.
You're lying.
Don't lie.
It's also mine.
You're making that up.
But this is Emma's pick, and Tomo-chan is not a girl.
Yes.
This is if like my senpai is annoying and Horimiya were slapped together, and
If they made beautiful, passionate love and had a family.
not quite, but sure, yeah, the vibes are there. It's really cute. Basically, you've got Tomo, who is
Not a girl?
She is a girl.
Oh.
Sorry.
Tomo-chan.
is not a boy.
It's not, okay,
Not a boy, sorry.
Very-
I put the wrong thing here. Tomo-chan
Tomo-chan is not a girl.
Tomo-chan
Surprise.
Tomo-chan is a girl. Or not. Oh my God, how can I forget the name of the
thought
show?
you liked this show.
I do. I'm just clearly dead inside.
No, you're right. It's Tomo-chan is a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically,
Is
she's.
it wrong for Tomo-chan to be a girl in a dungeon?
I mean, maybe. Depends. So this is a series which focuses on Tomo. She is a tomboy, and series starts off with her confessing to her best male friend that she's in love with him, and he doesn't get it. He's an imbecile. I love him, but he's a bit thick.
He's a bit dense, isn't he?
Yeah. And the series focuses basically on how their relationship changes. And him starting to notice her more, her feeling more confident in her femininity, while also still being confident in her masculine traits, such as being, an absolute badass at karate and stuff like that. So, like, it's awesome. And it's really funny as well because, like, there's other girls in the school who end up getting a crush on Tomo because she's quite masculine, protects them from a guy and stuff. And it's just like, wow. But yeah, it's really good fun. If you like Love is War, what was Horimiya?
You keep forgetting that one.
It's not Horimiya that I'm forgetting. It's Love is Hard for Otakus, Wodokoi.
Oh, yes.
I keep forgetting it, and
It does have elements of that to it.
It's got elements of that to it. My senpai is annoying. Any of these sort of comedy romance series that actually end up having romantic events, that's basically what you're working with here. Now, I do believe like the last episode should have just dropped, I think, and I
As
don't.
of time of recording.
As of time of recording.
Time of release.
Time of recording. I believe it comes out on Wednesday, so the final episode should have been Wednesday, just gone.
Okay.
But because I started a new job, I haven't had a chance to watch any anime this week. I've been burnt out. So I'm pretty sure we do not get a confession this season. But I believe it sets it up for season 2 to follow on for it. And the issue we've got here is there's 800 chapters. Now, to clarify, each chapter is only 1 or 2 pages of the manga. It was a short form, like 4-panel sort of thing for most of them. Yeah. So there's still a lot to be covered. But look, highly recommend it. Incredibly funny. The character interactions, especially between the main guy and the main girlfriend, is just so petty. Like, she does.
Isn't that? Is it Alice?
No, not Alice. The blonde girl.
Yeah, she's got the same voice actor in Japanese and English.
Yes, she does.
She's the only one I've taken notice of.
Okay, fair enough. So Junichiro is the main guy, and then you've got Misuzu Gundo, and then you've got Carol Alston. So Carol is our blonde, insane. She's hilarious.
She is on every bloody meme.
She's a British descent, and she is just chaotic, and that's exactly why you like her.
She's the new Chica.
Look, she's more chaotic than Chica by a long way.
Impossible.
No, it's not. So you've
Give
got
us a rotoscope dance.
So you've got Gundo, who comes across as like, a goth, sad,
Very distant.
yeah, and she's got a hair tie on her hair, and her and Junichiro have a history that makes them kind of not very nice to each other. She's always trying to troll him, and he's always passive aggressive to her. So like she said something really rude to him, and all he did was just grab her scrunchie, pull it out, and throw it away. And it's just like, I'm sorry, what? That is like classic high school pettiness. Like the person who wrote this has a complete understanding of high school interactions and how petty boys are with girls and vice versa. And it is wonderful when you see their behavior.
They all are.
Yeah. And like Carol is just chaotic insanity. And
What about Wednesday?
Carol and Tuesday, you mean? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
There is one meme I've seen with that character, and they're just like, "Why are you so worried? I'm just sick. It's just a cold." But we're in a slice of life series.
So, it's for context, Carol is an airhead like her mother, eccentric, almost permanently cheerful, and oblivious to how modern society works. She's under the assumption that everyone's household is like hers. She also seems to enjoy teasing and pushing the boundaries with everyone while making a smile. She often makes blunt remarks very casually, even to complete strangers. Despite being physically weak, she seemingly does not fear anyone, including delinquents. So, yeah, she has been shown to be able to do complicated mathematical formulas and stuff like that. So she's like book smart.
She's legally blonde.
Yeah. So, yeah, and she's just fantastic. And, like, there are so many just really dumb scenes of she, like, walks in and goes, dun, 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 and places something on a desk. And everyone's just like, it's just your lunch.
Calm down with the video games.
And then, it's not even video game references. It's just her making up a really dumb tune, or like, she takes off her, what do you call it? Like hairband. Mm-hmm. And, it's like a whole big ceremony. It sounds like she's humming a big royal tune and puts it on Tomo, and it's a whole big thing. And then she goes, now go see him and see how he reacts, sort of thing. And then later on in the anime, she takes it back and does exactly the same thing in reverse, and it's the exact same tune. She just hums it in reverse and puts it back on her head. And it's just like,
That's
yes.
I remember doing dumb stuff like that in high school.
I think we all had that kind of weirdo friend, yes.
Yeah. We still have that weirdo friend. We've kept him. So look, it's really good fun. Highly can recommend it. Now, the next two, I believe you guys haven't caught, so we'll run through them fairly quickly.
All right.
We've got Kaina of the Great Snow. Kaina of the Great Snow Sea. Now, this is by the same... It's an original anime, but it has been written by Nihei Tsutomu. He's the guy who did Blame, Knights of Sidonia, and Biomega, and so on. Again, CG, animated by Polygon Pictures. It's quite well done, this, and it shows how far they've come. They're not quite at Orange's level, but for this show in particular, it works quite well. Quite simply, it is a distant future. Humanity's facing extinction. There is these giant trees around the world, and they're basically holding up a thin sort of canvas around the world, which is keeping the air in. And there were people who were living in the trees and who maintained the canvas, but there's not many villages left. Actually, there's only one village left, which is where our main character's from. And then there are people who live down on the surface on the Snow Sea, which is continually rising. So, these two worlds are going to have to eventually collide. So, you've got, according to legend, there exists a sage who knows the secrets to producing abundant quantities of water to save mankind. The orbital trees were where people were getting the water for, but the trees are starting to die. And, there's not getting any water out them either. So you've got a princess of Atlan called Liliha, and she uses an organic hot air balloon to climb to the top of the orbital trees in all the hopes of meeting the country's savior, where there's meant to be a sage. But once she reaches the canopy, an area that appears to be an infinite window of transparent ice, she meets Kaina, one of the last men alive on the canopy. However, she cannot find the man she was looking for, the great sage. So unable to return by herself to her country, the princess finds a helping hand in Kaina, who is eager to explore the surface world that he thought was empty, and they learn about the war between Lilia's country, antagonist technologically advanced nation of Valhan, and the other perils of the world. So yeah, it's quite fun. It's very sci-fi fantasy. There's definitely elements of romance between them. I don't know if that's kind of like the main thing, but it's all about them surviving the world and making their way through it.
Has that whole kind of epic journey kind of plot to it.
Yeah.
You don't see too many of those around.
You don't, and I'm quite surprised because all of Nihei's stuff in the past has been adaptations of his manga. And this is the guy who does massive mega structures and so on. His most recent manga was Aposims, I believe, and that just kind of ended very abruptly with characters dying. At least the version I was reading. I think there might be more coming, but
mostly I just feel like he's just missed his his calling as an architect. I feel like he just wants to build
he studied
mega fortresses.
He studied architecture, but decided he didn't like the culture. And I don't blame him because architecture offices are horrible, incredibly high stress. But yeah, this is only got 11 episodes. It just finished airing this week, and yeah, good fun.
So like the ozone's gone in this, right?
Kind of like it's kind of like that.
You want to know who's to blame? Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh yeah, I blame Gwyneth Paltrow.
No. You don't understand. She gets ozone enemas.
What?
Okay. Look, she's currently in court.
Yeah,
over
she
some.
hit a skill.
That's a real thing. You can Google that, by the way.
Look, I mean, Gwyneth Paltrow is just a horrible human being.
Like,
Yes.
I heard that and I was like, I want to know how, but
Hey,
I don't
Gwyneth,
want to know how.
Sue me.
Yeah. So yeah. Anyway, so that's over.
Fun facts with Aaron.
I'm pretty sure I was watching that through High Dive.
Fun facts with Aaron needs a jingle.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Fun facts with Aaron.
Well, like you said, in the distant future, and all I could think of was the Flight of the Conchords. The
Distant future.
The year 2000.
Sorry, Crunchyroll. It is in my account. So now another one we're going to talk about is a very different type of series from what we've seen in the past. It's called Hikari no O, the Fire Hunter. This is being done by Signal MD. It looks like classic hand-drawn watercolor. It's not like traditional animation style, and it's been really good. It is a little bit slower paced. It's like a traditional Japanese storybook style.
I caught only the first episode of it. I am intrigued to know where it goes.
Well, this is from a novel, which is why it has that slower pace. So not a light novel, not a manga. It's from like a traditional Japanese novel. So human civilization no longer revolves around fire, but is instead now driven by the fear of it. Repeated wars have changed human biology, and now people can spontaneously combust when they get close to natural flames. However, a new source of energy prevents society from completely collapsing. A stone-shaped material used to produce light and steam lies within the bodies of monsters that infest numerous forests, along with liquids, which is from their blood. Those tasked with collecting this precious resource are called the Fire Hunters. Toko, a young village girl, is saved from a forest monster by a fire hunter who perishes during her heroic act. After the hunter's dog, Kanata, heals from his own injuries, the girl's family sends her to the capital in order to return Kanata and the hunter's fire sickle to the relatives. And then it also shows you the fire hunter's son's Koshi and his sister being adopted by a wealthy family and after his mother dies, and doing research into what could be the ultimate power source and also the possible demise of mankind.
So this is like an alternate universe Promare.
Yeah. Yeah, actually. I'd say this is similar, but
Like Promare, they deal with the fire inside, but like
But it's
Well,
in
there
this,
is
it's
actually-
just that if they get close to fire, they explode and
there
die.
is a species, well, a subspecies of the human race in this, where they have purposely exposed themselves to a bug's poison, which prevents them from getting burned. So, but the problem is it's sort of like, it doesn't work for everyone. It's like, 50-50 chance. You can do it or you can get really sick and just die.
oh, cool.
Yeah.
So die from bug or die from fire.
Yeah, and that they then, the people are a bit more tribal. They live outside of the main cities because they believe that the gods, if you will, that the people worship,
Miguel and Tulio.
Mighty and powerful gods.
that they believe that those gods are the reason humanity is that way, and they are constantly fighting against it. So that I won't go any further into it. There's 10 episodes. It's just finished airing a week ago, but it's fascinatingly drawn. It's like watching a watercolor anime. Well, it's literally what it is.
And it's just the bleakness of it. It's like the whole story, the way it shows how humanity has fallen without, the ability to use fire or combustion or anything like that. Has a very kind of Dark Souls feel to the narrative. It's like there's a hopelessness to it.
Yeah, there's also an element to this story is it seems like these beasts are starting to get wilder and crazier as well. So something is, like, there is some massive crescendo about to appear. There's also, like, there's a lot to this. It's also got a style which is very sort of like traditional Japanese like storytelling, where like the story stops and text is displayed on screen, like almost like a silent film, but without the silence. And they use that also to show
Without the who?
the silence.
Who?
Is that a Doctor Who reference?
I think it might be.
Hell.
Without, there's still music and all that through it. There's still conversations, but they use it to provide the exposition instead of having the characters do exposition dances. So it's really good and really enjoyable. I think if you want to see like a really different non-shonen type of anime, this is just fantastic. It was just so different and so out of left field. So, yeah. Very, very sort of like traditional styled.
I'm going to have to return to that one, yeah.
So I don't know if that's getting any more to it. Oh, hang on. No, it is. Hikari no second season has been confirmed.
Whoop, whoop.
No release date as of yet. Once again, PG-13. It's being animated, like Studio MD is behind it, but the producers is Wow.
Wow.
WOWOW. So, yeah.
Every time you say its title, I think of Hikaru no Go.
Ah, yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. And then you're like, Hikaru no. And I was like,
but yeah, look, it was fantastic. But obviously there was a lot this season. There was so many sequels. We had My Hero Academia. We had...
that was pretty nuts.
Yeah, Bo Fury Season 2. We had Nier, but that got delayed twice. There's a lot which has suffered from delays this season. A lot of it's coming back next season, including... brains died on it. Golden Kamuy Season 4 had to stop, and now it's returning next season.
Swear to gods, I have tried to go through that series like 3 times now.
Really?
Yeah, I keep starting and stopping. I'm cursed or something.
By the vibe of it, I'd say it's your show, because it gives me Vinland Saga
That's
kind
the
of feels.
thing. It's like, it should be my show, and I keep just falling off.
I started rewatching it recently, and I've gotten, I think we've got about 4 or 5 episodes in. And we're going to keep going.
See, with the trying to get into it because it should be your thing, but it not working, that's me with Skyrim.
Same here.
Like, I try it because by all means it should be my thing. It's not. And I can't. I've started over and over and over and over, and I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, and nothing
Same ways
sticks.
here, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's just what it is.
Oh, do you know of Dragon's Dogma?
Yes.
Yes.
Same situation.
Oh, really?
Same with, what was the other one that was similar to it? Knights of Amalur?
Oh,
Kingdom of Amalur?
I couldn't
That
stand
one was
Kingdom of Amalur.
That one was a slog.
It was too slow.
For me, they came out around the same time, so they sort of blur together.
Yeah.
I've returned to Dragon's Dogma, and it had an expansion, right?
No. All I remember from it is the song, Dungun,
Oh, yes.
by Bees.
Bees.
No, it's B''Z.
Oh.
Yeah, this very, very Germanic setting of like swords and sorcery with Greek monsters of legend starts with just an absolute banger jam from K-pop group.
Isn't it?
It's a
J-Rock?
J-Rock group. It's just like this.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get behind that.
And me and a mate, when this game first came out, is just like, okay, so you're taking so long with the side quests that this dragon has just started up a J-Rock career elsewhere. This is the song he's produced waiting for you.
Well,
You got really
isn't that
bored.
the one where you get like your little follower?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember finding some weird
But
followers.
but so I know this is like way off topic, but yeah, the expansion adds an area to the game called Bitter Black Isle. It's almost like a roguelike procedural thing.
It's my heart.
The whole thing about it is it's set up for you to go there post-game when you are, mighty and over-leveled. You can go there when you're level 1, though.
Which you did, didn't you?
And I went there and just played it like Dark Souls. I would just be sneaky. I'd creep up to places where I shouldn't go. I killed enemies with stealth. And then I started the actual game at like level 50. It's like, I've got to the very start of the game and I am overpowered. I love it.
Shank.
All right.
No,
Well,
just singular.
that has been some of the
die.
stuff we've been watching this season, including apparently Dragon's
Game
Dogma.
reviews.
We're now a gaming podcast. But if you had anything interesting that we missed, I mean, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, actually. Oh, you're talking to the listeners.
Yes.
Oh.
What have we missed?
No, I was doing a bit.
Oh, God.
Let's talk about video games some more.
No, let's get on with it because we've got a lot to get through this episode. But if you have anything interesting that you watched over this season, let us know in the comment section over on the socials or on YouTube. We'd love to know your thoughts. There's always a lot to talk about every anime season.
Or send something through the PO box or via pigeon.
Neither of those exist.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
That's a lot of anime.
Oh, there's so many.
Spring Anime.
Copyright strike.
Copyright,
strike.
something to do with beer.
The coffee is right, strike.
Yes. Now, it is the not the autumn anime season. It is the spring anime season.
How
But
did you
Damn
get those
Northern
mixed up?
Hemisphere weirdos.
it's because actually the template I used for the season preview segments is it had autumn season in there. So
Autumn, their spring.
it's funnily enough like correct for us, but it's weird.
Yeah, it has just started to actually rain again and get cold.
It's so nice.
The weather
we needed
here,
this.
the seasons do not change gradually here in Australia. It's like a light switch.
It is, isn't it?
The temperature vanishes.
It does. It's weird. Now this
You
season,
don't acclimatize, you adapt or you die.
yeah,
I mean, it's Australia.
that's literally Australia.
You
So-
adapt or die.
Anyway,
not just the
2023
wildlife trying to
spring
kill you.
anime season. It's a big one. There is a lot of returning series, so we are going to kind of mix and match a bit. We're not going to be able to cover everything because, as per usual, we only pick out 10, and we use that as just kind of like an idea of what our picks are. So we're going to start off with a sequel, and that's Ancient Magus Bride Season 2 because it is incredibly excited. Like a lot of people are interested in seeing this.
This is one of my
Yes, the
absolute
music's still
favorites.
going in the background, and we can still hear him.
Okay,
Even
cool.
though it's down at zero volume.
I was like, I can hear something. What's going on?
We've got a man singing backwards.
going
down.
It's not me touching the microphone this time.
No. I might like completely ruin it and find like a new sting to put in there in post. And then everyone's going to be like, what are they
talking
singing
about?
about?
I know a song that gets on everybody's nerves.
So look, Ancient Magus Bride Season 2. Season 1 was very well received. It's very much like it says it's for a shonen audience, but I feel it's definitely more shoujo.
Who the hell? What shonen elements does this show even have?
Yeah, so it's fantasy, magic, slice of life. It definitely Emma put it probably the best way. She's like, as a 14-year-old girl, she would have destroyed this. Like, she would have been watching it and reading it and buying
Made it her whole personality.
Yeah, bingo.
I can imagine.
Yeah, like she's like, this is. I don't see how it's shonen. This is clearly shoujo. It's just that it's released in a shonen manga.
That's
So-
weird.
Yeah, it's just the way it is. So it's PG-13 and it's being animated by Studio Kafka. If you haven't heard of them before, that's fine because they were literally established 2 years ago just to make Ancient Magus Bride. to make
If
the
you haven't
OVAs.
seen the first season, for the love of God, go watch it.
Yeah. So you've got 24 episodes in the first season, and then you've got 3 sets of OVAs which have all come out, and they're all on Crunchyroll. So Chisei is our main character. She was
Sold.
yeah, I was going to say I've got the synopsis for season 2, but I might go and bring up season 1.
Essentially, she can see spirits, and it's haunted her life. It's practically ruined her life. It's left her without friends, without a family, and so with nowhere left to turn, she sells herself.
As a word you can't say in Star Wars.
What?
a slave Becky.
A slave.
You can't say that. Oh, never mind. So essentially, and then she is bought by a very strange creature called Elias. He is this like tall, imposing creature with a skull for a head, who basically takes her in to his lovely little cottage in the countryside and his lovely little housemaid, and they have a nice little life. As he says, "You're now my apprentice." Maybe my wife too.
We'll find out.
We'll find out. It's surrounded by fairies and the weird and wonderful beings that are the.
And basically, you
yeah.
come to learn that, like, she is just kind of this sad, lonely, broken individual. Elias is a sad, broken, lonely individual, and they just kind of complete each other.
Yeah. So this series is set after all of that and them coming to learn a lot about each other.
There's a lot of events that transpire in the first
24 episodes? Yeah.
Yeah.
They
and
go
then,
to a village of talking cats.
it's amazing.
That was the best part.
It was a great episode. So she's in a situation which is still a bit unusual, as you can imagine, in this new season. But she's received an invitation for a majors college, basically. So I wouldn't say Harry Potter. It's kind of a bit different from that.
Very. It's like from what you see in the from the trailer for the manga, from not the anime from many years ago, which irritated me so much.
I was waiting for that rant.
It looks like your kind of polytechnic university. It's all very modern and beautiful, except for the fact that there is a great big magical tree growing out the middle of it.
Yeah, and it's hidden underneath the British Library. So, a secret society of mages. So, there's encounters and interactions with people who are about to open some new doors. And it's a story about saving yourself to save another. So
what you're saying is if we go to the British Library and we take a bunch of shovels...
Get digging. Dwarf brain activated. So we don't know how many episodes this new season is going to be yet. And this is just simply because normally episode lengths are released close to either the first episode airing or the second episode airing. So we don't know. This could be 24 episodes. It could be 12. We will probably learn that at around mid-April. First episode airs on April 6th, and it's going to air in Japan at 10 p.m. on Thursday nights. So that's actually quite a good slot. Like, it's not after midnight for starters. And you're going to be able to watch it on Crunchyroll worldwide, which is a nice...
This comes
They had to do
highly
it worldwide.
recommended.
Like, a show like this, it's massive.
That's another thing as well. Like, the watch lists are incomplete at the moment because a lot of companies only announce it once the new season gets underway, and then they vast dump it. So we haven't got anything confirmed from High Dive, Muse Asia, or any of the other major platforms we normally talk about.
There's a lot of companies still
only
scrambling.
Crunchyroll has announced so far.
Ever since the whole plague, everything has been thrown out of
Yeah.
balance. It's going to take a while for things to actually get back to normal.
Yeah. But if you do want to find out where to watch these shows, we highly recommend using livechart.me because they have a list of all the anime by season. You can choose ones that you want to watch. You can even ask it to set up notifications so when the new episode comes out, you know to go watch it.
We've been using them since before we had the podcast.
Yeah, like 2015, 16. Like, yeah, it was a good discovery. Now, let's stay in the world of fantasies. And we're going to go to Konosuba because it's got a prequel series. Pseudo prequel, then side story at the same time.
Oh, it's the Mega Man one?
Yes, an explosion on this wonderful world.
I thought it was the main character. I was like, what? It's just him in the human world doing regular things.
No, it would just be him sitting in his room playing video games.
Yeah. Come on.
So this is going to be interesting because the studio who's doing it is relatively new. They're called Studio Drive. They did To Your Eternity Season 2 and Teppen. However, I think they were established in like 2015, 2017, like that sort of bracket. But, obviously it takes time. You've got to get experience as supporting studio and then you can take on your own ones.
I mean, if they did To Your Eternity, then...
Did you finish season 2?
Not yet.
I got about halfway through.
Does it get any better or are you still sad?
Everything is
I thought so.
everything is sadness in this show.
I'm going to be honest, like this year has been so stressful. I'm like, I can't deal with the sad anime right now.
Makes friends with a fish in the first episode and then it gets eaten.
Oh, no, it's so sad.
He's like, I'm tired of humans. I'm going to go be a fish. Fish don't have any problems. Oh, my fish friend.
Oh, God. All right.
I have to wonder if the author is just getting through some stuff.
I think this is his way of, processing grief, perhaps.
I think he just enjoys inflicting pain on others.
I mean, there might be that too. So, anyway, Konosuba, An Explosion on This Wonderful World, focuses on Megumin and Union when they're part of the Crimson Magic Academy. So, the Crimson Magic clan members, Megumin and Union, are the top of their class, but they still have a lot to learn. Union's begun learning advanced magic, but Megumin has gone down a different path. The path of explosion-only magic. Despite being warned of its limited usefulness, Megumin believes explosion magic is the way for her to become a great, voluptuous wizard, and she won't be convinced otherwise after meeting someone who does that. Now, there is a lot to do with the story here, but in the normal Konosuba series, Megumin mentions on multiple occasions about a great wizard which showed her, explosion magic, and that sold her on it. Now, for a long time, I thought it was Wiz. But now that Megumin and Wiz have done multiple things together, I know it's not.
Yeah.
It's Bakugo.
It's great.
And that's why she thinks she'll become
No.
quite voluptuous.
Great explosion dynamite god, you mean?
Yeah. Have you seen how big his man bits are?
Oh, I know. He's fantastic.
I don't mean down there, I mean on his chest.
Yeah. So,
Colossal packs.
this is going to provide some background to it. Now, if you are reading the light novels, I'm under the impression you'll already know who this, precursor lady is, but the manga is still catching up to the anime. The anime obviously has only adapted, I think, the first 5 manga, which ends up being the first 3.5 light novels, and there is 16 light novels. So we're a long way off. Now, there is a third season of Konosuba coming, and the movie adapted the 4th light novel like in its entirety, so that's good. But we'll have to see where it matches up. I might be wrong. It might be 8. I need to look. But basically, you get to a point where they do defeat the Demon Lord, because that's inevitable in this comedy world.
I don't know. I feel like they're just going to keep stumbling, fumbling, and that's just going to be it. That's the show.
Yeah, but they do eventually beat the Demon Lord, but that doesn't end the story, and people go off and do other things. So it's kind of funny. There's a lot. There's like a guy who they
Is
end
that
up.
a grey hair that just sprouted?
I found my first grey hair the other week, and it's on the side.
Oh, you're going to be a silver
I'm going to be a
fox?
silver fox. We're going to be real good.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. But there.
You'll get a great silvery beard.
No, you get to be the pink fox.
The Pink Panther.
Yeah, why not? But yeah, look, Konosuba does have another season coming, and I'm under the impression this will be, once again, another Demon Lord General will get defeated, and then the season after that, maybe we'll have something happen with the Demon Lord themselves. So there's a
He
lot.
gets inducted into the harem.
I mean, look. It wouldn't surprise me after what we saw in the film. Like, my God. But these are being done by Drive, and I think there's another studio as well, which is doing the other season of it. And it looks just good. Like, I'm quite excited to see where this ends up, because it's been on hiatus so long because of studios just basically being lazy. And I'm not okay with
Useless
that.
studio.
Yeah, basically. The new studio is not... Oh, no, it is Studio Drive, who'll also be doing the main series. So, yeah, if this looks good, then we know the main series will be good as well. So this is a good... And just based on the artwork we've seen, it looks stunning. This is going to be fun. Crunchyroll is the only one who's announced so far. It comes out on the 6th of April, which is a Thursdays at 1 a.m. in Japan. So expect it Fridays on most services. 12 episodes, we've been told at this stage. So it should be fun. You'll get to meet all of Megumin's family who we met in the film.
They are demented.
Yep. And they're just insane. And you'll get to see how insane the rest of the Fire Village is as well, because they're just as bad. You know how they had that scene with like the Axis cult going absolutely berserk in that water town?
Yeah.
Think that, except they're obsessed with, they're obsessed with being Chunibyo.
Except they have the superpowers to back up. their
Exactly. Yeah,
So they've all got eye patches.
yeah. Well, they all have a quirk. There's also a girl who's like in the same class as Megumin.
She has
and
2 eye
Yunyun.
patches.
She doesn't. She doesn't. But she's like the. You know how there's like the blonde like electrical girl in Railgun who's like, always there and causing problems.
Oh, yeah.
She's sort of like that type of character. Like, she's on par with them ability wise, but she's got an attitude. But she's also, you kind of like her as well. Like, it's like she's a good addition to the mix. So yeah, it's good fun. All right. I don't actually know anything about this one, Aaron, so you'll have to fill me in on it. Maho Shoujo Magical Destroyers. Is this a magical girl anime or is it not? Because like I've got the
Man, even
the
Aaron's
thing in
Googling
front
it.
of me.
No, like I remember looking at it, but I can't remember.
I've got the synopsis, so I'll read that out from here. So, freedom of expression is threatened when a mysterious group, the SSC, or actually, before I go that, You can watch Konosuba God's Explosion on This Wonderful World on Crunchyroll is the only place it's announced. No. So, Maho Shoujo Magical Destroyers. Freedom of expression is threatened when a mysterious group, the SSC, destroy Japan's otaku culture. Okay, wait, what? However, a young revolutionary, the otaku hero, who loves the culture more than anything else, rises up. With their health of three rambunctious magical girls, Anarchy, Blue, and Pink, they'll team up to create a world free of this oppressive rule. Be part of the rebellion to bring back fandoms. Look.
I feel like fandoms are very different in Japan. And
Look at
enjoy-
Anarchy.
Okay, that looks awesome.
Okay, this looks insane. Like,
This could be fun, and it could be really, really self-aware.
I think it's going to be very self-aware, and he looks like a classic otaku,
Like he's got the glasses with
the
circles.
swirl in them.
Yeah,
And
yeah. See, full disclosure, I saw the picture of it. I saw the title. I read the description very briefly. And I went, this sounds cool. I'll remember to check the trailer for that before I go.
So Anarchy's red. Anarchy's red. Then you've got blue, and Pink's wearing a full-face gas mask. Like, what the hell? Okay, this looks insane.
She looks like a shy guy.
They've got Whitehead Bakugo in the background too.
I'm
Like,
sure that's Bakugo and not Gojo.
yeah, I'm sure it's Bakugo.
It's Bakugojo.
Oh, no, we
Bakugojo.
don't need that.
Purple
Baku,
explosions.
no. It looks. This looks like completely nuts.
Unhinged?
Yeah.
Yes.
And that explains why you've picked it, and I
Yes.
appreciate the choice.
Look, one of us has to go crazy.
Oh, absolutely. So this is a original anime. It's got no. Yeah.
Previous anything.
Anything. We have no idea on the rating, no idea on the episodes. It airs on Saturdays at 1:55 a.m. in the morning. So that starts on April 8th. It's going to air on Crunchyroll, so we at least got that. But the studio behind it is Biberi Animation Studios. Now, I thought I'd heard of them before, and I have. They helped out on the Quintessential Quintuplets movie and the second season.
Okay.
Azure Lane, Grissia Phantom Trigger, Blackrock Shooter Dawnfall, the recent one, Prima Doll, and The 100 Girlfriends Who Really Love You.
That's I saw that coming. I told you guys that was getting an anime years ago.
Yeah, you did.
It's
No,
trash.
it's this year. It's a harem. So anyway, this is a series that could be absolutely fantastic. It could also just be like
A dumpster fire.
it could be, and for that I am excited.
Me too.
Yeah. So look, good pick.
When you were going through the studios earlier, I was like, there's one that I remember we love saying over and over and over and over again.
Oh, you mean Billy?
Yeah, Billy. I was like, I couldn't remember it until you said the name of this studio. And I was like, it's Billy.
Yeah.
Billy.
Unfortunately, Billy haven't announced what they're streaming this year.
Oh, come on, Billy.
So yeah, but yeah, look, that's going to be on Crunchyroll. It's again one of the few series that surprisingly everything so far we've talked about has been announced on Crunchyroll, but the next one isn't, and that suggests it might be going to a different service.
Maybe High Dive?
Well, or it could be Disney, because Disney is meant to be going hard this season. So this is Tengoku Daimakyo, which is Heavenly Delusion. Yes, I agree, Kenny. They deserve the bird. So,
a bird of freedom.
first things first, this is an adventure sci-fi seinen. It's going to have 13 episodes, and it's being animated by Production IG, and it starts on April 1. Now, here's the thing. April 1 is only 5-6 days away at this point, depending on when the podcast comes out.
Oh, wow.
It does not have any listings at all where it's going worldwide. And this is exactly what happened with the last Disney shows. They only listed it literally the day of launch. So that's why I feel like this might be going there. Now,
Yay.
Production ID...
Disney doesn't know how to handle anime. Who would have thought?
Well, I mean, look, they've done better than Netflix because they actually release things on episodic basis. So that's a start.
Instead of like 3-month basis.
And then just kind of backing out on it. So Production IG did Fire Hunter, Moriarty the Patriot, Great Pretender, all of Psycho Pass. These guys have been around for a while, and they're known to produce good quality things. And when they do support work as a support studio, it's normally with like Madhouse, Mappa,
The big names.
the big big names. So they're big themselves, and they've got a big reach and connections in the industry. So it's always good quality. I've never seen a production IG series like get panned. Like they did Haiku as well. Haiku. So they're generally like almost every series they do is above a 7 in ratings on most websites. There will always be those stinkers. But yeah, the 7 pages, they were involved in Star Wars Visions and like Pokemon Origins. They did Pokemon Origins.
They've got
Kaiju number 8 coming up next year.
I've heard that the manga fans are quite disappointed in how Kaiju number 8 looks.
Yeah, I've heard that as well.
That's a
Guilty
shame.
Crown. Oh, they did Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, the original.
Oh, wow.
Oh, good.
Yeah, FLCL Alternative and the original FLCL Be the Beginning, Robotic Notes, Legend of the Galactic Heroes, Dino's Thieves. There's a lot, and you just keep going through this, and they're on everything.
What were they
Eden
called
of the
again, sorry?
East, Production IG.
Of
They're
course,
normally
yeah.
written with like a calligraphy style brush. Yeah, there's a lot in here that
Eden of the East. That was an interesting one.
I never finished the movies. I do need to go back and do so.
Did you ever see that one, Aaron?
Which one?
Eden of the East.
No.
Yeah.
Interesting. I reckon you'd get a kick out of it.
Yeah. But yeah, look,
The guy wakes up in front of the White House with nothing but a gun and a cell phone in his hand, and he's completely naked.
I'm not wearing underwear.
That sounds like a
today.
regular Tuesday.
Exactly.
But yeah,
that's
Autobiographical.
so autobiographical raps, things that happened to us. Yeah, I got hurt feelings. So this series, Heavenly Delusion, is a sci-fi, and it starts out, if you watch the trailer, it starts out looking really relaxed and chilled, and we watched this just literally before the podcast and went, wait, what? How did we not see this? So within the safety of the walls, youths are raised in a nursery-style setting by robots, and while life there may appear stale on the surface, the children are full of potential and curiosity. In many ways, it is like a slice of heaven. The world outside, however, is a hellscape. It is almost entirely void of anything mechanical and is now inhabited by bizarre yet powerful supernatural beings. Maru, with the aid of Kiriko, is out there crisscrossing what was once Tokyo for heaven, but after searching for so long, maybe heaven is more of an untenable dream than a potential reality. So it is a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah, you
it
sort
has
of-
action sequences.
You sort of
as well.
see them in this sort of sterile sci-fi environment, and then you see like, okay, look, they're outside now. Everything's overgrown. The apocalypse has happened. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, alien monsters in the trailer.
Like both me and Aaron went, this has a sort of Neon Genesis vibe to some of the monster designs. Like I was really quite surprised by that.
I reckon this one's worth looking at.
Oh, look, I honestly, because you know how much I love my sci-fi, this is probably my pick for the season.
Yeah, as much as you like your trash romance.
You don't need to kill a man on air, Kenny.
I do it for the rating.
He's already dead. Now, this is based on a manga, and we don't know where it's going to end up. And I didn't actually realize this was a manga. I'm just going to see what it's in serialized in afternoons. Is that a...
It's not in the morning.
Yes, that is what it says.
I think afternoons are owned by Shueisha, which means it would be Disney because of the deal.
There's your answer then.
Let's have a look. Afternoon magazine manga magazine monthly afternoon Kodansha.
That's a Disney.
Is it? Well, was it Kodansha or the other one? Shonen Jump.
I'm pretty sure Kodansha got bought out by Disney.
Oh, well, not bought out, but they made the
But
deal.
yeah,
'Cause
well, they
you've
made
got
the deal,
Shonen-
which means they'll be absorbed any day now.
No, well, you've got Shueisha and you've got Kodansha. So Shueisha is monthly Shonen Jump, and Kodansha is the opposite. Shonen Jump, it wasn't Naruto, it wasn't One Piece that was going to Disney. So it's gonna. I think it was Kodansha. So this will be Disney then. Disney or High Dive, I reckon. So well, let's say likely Disney, and we'll see if we're right.
We can redact this later.
Well, no, look, if we're wrong, we're wrong. That's what it is. Like
We're a podcast. We're not a certified fact checker.
look, we fact check the news segments. That because you have to. It's news. You've got to make sure it's not just a rumor. But for this, there isn't anything at the moment, so we can make educated guesses based on our knowledge of the industry.
And we're never going to.
We're educated?
Some look.
I'm underqualified for this show. Sorry, I gotta go.
Oh no.
You have wisdom beyond your years, my friend.
You do, especially when it comes to anime.
No. I've got the emotional wisdom.
You've dropped some brilliant ones on us though. Like, come on.
Like what?
Well, you have knowledge of series we haven't even heard of.
Oh, I mean, I've got knowledge of series in depth that you guys like. Thank God you watched that because we're not.
Yeah, I mean, like, Fate. What the?
Look, it's nice to have a lore master on hand who can handle those ones for us because those are terrifying.
I mean,
Those are Lovecraftian monsters.
I was going
beyond
to say, each of us
comprehension.
has an area of specialty, and like Aaron, yours is generally to do with shonen series. Kenny, yours is definitely to do with a lot more of like the more
Slice of lifey.
Well, I was going to say slice of life, but also like the deep mythos animes. Like they have like a lot of if a series has went and done a lot of digging into like mythos or like a story that is set inside a very specific area, you tend to pick up on it because you've done a lot of reading to do with like ancient cultures and stuff like that over the years.
I go to weird places.
You do. You go on the internet, and I just read a lot of trash. So,
What's this in the
and
garbage?
you like the
is this
heavy
domestic dumpster?
and you like the heavy sci-fi stuff, and you
Yeah.
are you were clever enough to actually understand what the hells they're talking about.
Well, I mean, yeah, like kind of comes with the territory having done psychoms and all that. So, but like Neon
What
Genesis.
the hell
Dr.
was
Stone.
that Godzilla one?
Oh man, that was so good. I can't wait for a sequel. That's still my best rated video on the channel that I've presented.
Yeah.
There's not going to be a sequel. It's a singularity, not a duolarity.
Well, they
What if it's a quantum entanglement singularity?
I have a question for you then. If it is a singularity, why are there multiple black holes in the universe?
Because they're all the same black hole.
I can't use the correct language I would like to use for this situation, but because redacted.
I look, I can get
Because they're
behind
all
that.
the same black hole, just in different places.
Yeah.
Oh, is that it? So you're saying they're like a
Quantum singularity, yes.
You're saying that black holes are
Black hole.
a urinal. They all feed into the same spot.
I
No,
mean,
I'm not saying that.
have you been through one?
Yes.
You've run through a funeral? That was halfway between urinal and funeral.
Okay, I was really drunk that one time in Mug River, but
Anyway.
Because I peed at a funeral doesn't mean...
there is nothing that can be linked back to me. They'll never find the body buried at longitude 89 degrees.
No, that's where you've got to put in like where the meme stone was put. All right. Anyway,
We're unhinged.
we are so.
That's a tangent.
Yeah, now, next, this season we have the final anime of the Dark Trilogy.
What?
So there's Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, and Hell's Paradise. Now, this isn't like a spin on the big three. These are three manga which have released around a similar time that have been associated with a darker take on shonen where death has consequences.
And the protagonists die.
Yeah,
Which
in
is
some
so
shape or form.
weird. You never see that sort of thing.
Like
Especially the death having consequences in the age of
Well, I mean,
Marvel.
like Crunchyroll, not Crunchyroll, Chainsaw Man, like that big like culling of people.
The Katana Man one?
Yeah,
That was nuts.
That was nuts. Like, and you weren't expecting to come. Jujutsu Kaisen, similar thing. There are characters in that who will die and will not return. And this was the same. And the three of them together have kind of been put into a group that people look at as a reference for what new up and coming young audiences are reading and what they're interested in to then kind of like help direct the future of shonen.
I wonder if that's a good idea, though. I think it's mostly that people are interested in it because this is new and different.
Exactly.
It's edgy. It's
Yeah.
the
And if
Danganronpa
they keep
influence.
going down that, if they keep going down that direction, then it ceases being new and different and just starts
Yeah.
becoming the norm.
Well, I think it's more. It's not necessarily to make them make more of it, but it's to give them an idea of what elements of stories that people are interested in. So, like,
Okay,
you
yeah.
know, if you go through that and go, "Wow, people do like it," if actions have consequences, maybe we can apply that to a drama series or to a crime series. Like, there are other ways to take that information.
I just,
Can we get a Mass Effect series.
Oh god, I'd love a Mass Effect series.
There was a Mass Effect anime movie.
There was one, but it was based around James.
Yeah, that
And it was just like
James Vega.
what he did before joining the Normandy, basically.
which isn't really
As-
that
I've
I've got the
exciting.
Blu-ray. Have you seen it?
I saw part of it.
Do you want to watch it? I can just lend it to you.
Yes, I actually would. I'll gladly take that.
I was going to say both of your PS5s have discs, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Like we are not going without discs.
We are a PS5 podcast.
Well, no, I've got the Xbox with the disc, so
Oh, I guess who's no longer on the podcast?
You're out of the fashion clips.
Look, now, I'm at a point now where I don't really play my Xbox much. I mostly play on the PC.
Kind of same ways.
But that's also kind of to do with my living situation because we're living with family while the house is finished. So, yeah. Anyway, Hell's Paradise is available on the PlayStation Store. No. So this is being animated by Mappa, who did Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, Dororo.
The characters will soon be on Fortnite.
Yeah, as a skin.
I started that one up.
Yeah.
Can we get a crossover of the three? Since they're all being done by the same studio.
Yeah, that'd be cool, wouldn't it? This has also got Twin Engine as the producer. Those are the guys who do the motorbikes at the beginning, and then you always have someone else's brand on the back of the jacket. Twin Engine are a production house, and they are big enough that they're, I think they've got connections to Madhouse originally, but they're basically like, if you have a big project that you need a lot of production work and preparation done for, you bring Twin Engine in. So we do need to do an episode on them.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Now, this is going to be a very different series to Jujutsu Kaisen and Chainsaw Man. This is not set in like modern era. So this is in the Edo period is nearing its end. Gabimaru, a shinobi formerly known as the strongest in Iwagakure, who is now a death row convict, is told that he will be acquitted and set free if he can bring back the elixir of life from an island that is rumored to be the Buddhist Pure Land of Sukhavati. In hopes of reuniting with his beloved wife, Gabimaru heads to the island along with the executioner Yamada. Upon arriving there, they encounter other death row convicts in search of the elixir, as well as a host of unknown creatures, eerie man-made statues, and the hermits who rule the island. Can Gabimaru find the elixir of life on this mysterious island and make it home alive? People will die. There will be blood. There will be gore. It is R18 rated. It is going to air at Saturdays at 11 p.m. at night. It starts April 1.
This sounds like Edo period battle royale.
Yeah. So this is literally next Saturday is the first episode.
Every time you said Gabimaru, I kept thinking of Slime.
Yeah.
The dragon.
Yep.
I'm like, yes, send him to a desert island. I'd watch that.
Now,
him.
Crunchyroll realized how big this is. They've already announced dubs for it.
Perfect.
So, and there
Sounds
is
like they're making the dub.
yeah, they're doubling down.
No, you know what a dub is, right? It's short for W for win.
Oh,
Because
right.
you can take the L or you can take the dub.
Oh, okay. I've
It's
only
the new
heard
kids'
just take the
lingo.
loss. Just take the loss.
Yeah, no, it's the kids' lingo. They say it on Fortnite.
I hear it mostly on Letterkenny.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I need to watch the new season. I'm so behind
so
on
good.
it. Also, Letterkenny not for children. Just a.
Don't watch Letterkenny with kids. Also,
you
don't
know.
watch this one with kids.
Yeah.
Don't watch a lot. Don't listen to this podcast with.
No.
Don't have kids.
We are PG. Don't have kids. Spend your money instead on anime figurines and manga.
And podcast Patreons.
Yes.
Childhood
Support
is
us.
fleeting. Anime is eternal.
Yes.
Can we make that our new end phrase thing?
Childhood is fleeting. Anime is eternal.
Now,
Oh, I love you, boys.
The problem with boys episodes, we get way too distracted.
We do. Okay, so look, we've
Gears of War 5 is a really
No,
good scare.
now, this is an interesting one that, as Kenny rightly pointed out in the chat, is definitely right up my alley. And Aaron, you've also linked for this as well. So this is Insomniac's After School. And it's a school sign and romance slice of life. This is going to air on April 11, so we've got a while. We've got a good 2 weeks until its first episode goes. It's being animated by Lydon Films, who did Akashic Records of magic instructor. I can't say the B word in the middle there. But
Buzzkill.
Tokyo Revengers, Call of the Night, along with many others. So Lytton Films are like starting to become one of those studios where we see consistently high quality animation for. They do animation appropriate to the source manga. So if the source manga has very simplified things, they take that on board in part of their design. So they're quite good like that.
And this one looks no different, but at the same time, it looks
Stunning.
gorgeous.
Now, this is right up my alley because it's got a massive telescope on it, and I'm a space nerd. So Ganta Nakami is a high school student who suffers from insomnia. One day he meets Isaki Magari, a girl with the same condition. A strange but special relationship forms as they share a secret and catch up on their sleep in their school's abandoned observatory. It sounds so cute.
That sounds calm.
It's slice of life. Someone's going to develop a cough and die.
Oh no! Well, like I saw this, and because my best friend has insomnia, so I immediately thought of him when I saw it. I was like, oh, this might be comforting for him to have like a nice chill anime about insomnia, where like people like find each other through it.
Yeah.
So for him, I was like, maybe he'll enjoy this. I should watch it so that I can share it with him.
It looks absolutely stunning
Yeah,
artwork-wise.
Beautiful.
Like if oh wow, like the character design is really sweet too.
Kyle has just brought up a trailer and...
Oh, I'm sold.
He's having a moment.
Look at that lighting.
Yeah, this is if you watched Call of the Night, very similar art style, but mix Call of the Night with a Shinkai character design.
A little bit of that. I'm definitely
Yeah.
seeing it.
Wow, this is
I'm happy.
I'm happy. That's definitely my other hit for the season.
I can see Love Live eyes.
Yeah, big beautiful eyes. Okay. So from insomnia to not insomnia in any shape or form. Tuesdays 12 midnight 01, so Tuesday morning 12:01. April 11th it starts. Lytton Films PG. We don't know where to watch it yet. We don't know how many episodes it's going to be, but in all likelihood 12 episodes, High Dive or Amazon is my bet. Or Disney.
We're placing bets.
No. We're placing internal sadness. No, put your money away.
I got 5 on Disney.
Where's my wallet's not even in here. I bet a mouse on Disney.
Hey, I just bet on Disney.
No bet. Corporate Disney model will take this.
Yeah,
Disney will
probably take this. Studios, Lytton Films. It's from a manga, but we don't know where it's published. So if it is Kodansha, then it might be. Now, we're going to go to the complete opposite end of a slice of life, romance comedy, to an action
Murder
comedy
robots?
fantasy shonen called Mashal, Magic and Muscles.
I am so hyped for this.
Gentlemen,
and I know this one's
is-
going to be big. The manga was very well received.
It's also being animated by A1 Pictures, i.e. Sony's direct studio.
Didn't the manga only recently come out?
Yeah, pretty much. But
Because I remember reading the first chapter when it dropped.
people have been hyped for it since it was announced because it just sounds off the chain wonderful.
I love it so much.
Basic story is, so this is a world full of like mages and magicians and stuff like that. And this guy is basically inducted into Hogwarts. Only thing is, he has no magic.
No. You've done this incorrectly.
What?
So basically, think of Naruto, but it's Rock Lee.
Actually, yeah, that checks.
That checks.
That's the perfect analogy for it.
Essentially, he has no magical power, so he has to make up for it, give the illusion that he has magical power by basically just being overpowered swole.
Yeah, this
He is muscular.
This released in January 2020.
I'm pretty sure he's also got a bowl cut, doesn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he kind of looks a little bit like Rock Lee, and he also kind of looks a little bit like Mob.
Yes, he
from Mob
definitely has the
Psycho.
Mob vibe.
Yeah.
He's Mob Lee. The ultimate fusion.
So this is being published
Ultimate swole.
in English by Viz Media. So that suggests to me that this... it is Shonen Jump, Weekly Shonen Jump it's in. However, Crunchyroll have already secured the rights to this.
Booyah.
I
So-
mean, Crunchyroll and Shonen Jump sort of just go hand in hand.
Pretty much.
Well, yeah, that's true. Oh, actually, no. Shonen Jump's not the one. It's Kodansha, the other one. Yep, not Shueisha.
Hands off, Disney.
This is a world of magic. This is a world in which magic is casually used by everyone. In deep, dark forests in this world of magic, there is a boy who is single-mindedly working out, getting swole.
How heavy are the dumbbells he lifts?
Pretty heavy. His
Guy
name
muscle.
His name is Mash Burndead, and he has a secret. He can't use magic. Actually, it's kind of funny that you mentioned Onagai Muscle, because I'm pretty sure Lidden Films did it, who were the previous one we were talking
They
about.
have experience drawing massive pecs.
All he wanted was to live a quiet life with his family, but people suddenly start trying to kill him one day, and he somehow finds himself enrolled in a magic school. There, he sets his sight on becoming a divine visionary, the elite of the elite. Will his ripped muscles work against the best and brightest of the wizarding world? The curtain rises on this off-kilter magic fantasy in which the power of being jacked crushes everything.
He casts fists.
He's the boy who lived. Come to die.
No, come to lift.
It's not even the boy who lived, it's the boy who lived. Oh, this is going to be amazing. I'm so keen.
This one is...
It is listed as a parody as well, which, straight away tells you, like, no, the jokes are going to be big.
Yeah, I
It's
had
gonna
it.
be Mob Psycho on
One of
Punch
the
Man
mates who was
jokes.
reading it is like, okay, so how does he cast Fireball? He punches so fast that he ignites the air.
I mean, seriously?
Yes.
Oh, this looks good.
He's just that powerful.
It looks good. So that's going to be on Crunchyroll. It looks brilliant. A1 Pictures, that's Sword Art Online, Kaguya-sama, Array, Seven Deadly Sins. It's PG-13 as well.
Watch this space. This one's the next
It's
big
going to
one.
be great. We don't know how many episodes, but in all likelihood, 12. Yeah.
It's going to be the next Pokemon. It will go for years.
30 years.
We'll come back to
30
Pokemon
years,
a bit.
Rick and Morty.
No. Right. Now, this is another one Tifa suggested. Her first one being Hell's Paradise.
That's right.
Oshinoko. Now, this is
Yes.
going to be very interesting. This is written by the guy who wrote Love is War, and the artist did... it was that one that Farah really liked, Scum's Wish.
Oh, okay.
So he's the artist from that.
I got heavy dress up darling vibes from the
Yeah,
main character.
it really has it. So this is a show about an idol,
Have
but
you
it is
read the description yet?
it is not
Wow.
actually about the idol lifestyle.
It kind of
It is, but it's well. Look, so when a pregnant young starlet appears in Guru Amimiya's countryside medical clinic, the doctor takes it upon himself to safely and secretly deliver Ai Hoshino's child, so she can make a scandal-free return to the stage. Because obviously, as idols, they're meant to stay single as part of their contract. Because
Single, pure, etc.
Yeah.
Like, I want to say a word here, but I won't.
Yeah. No good deed, however, goes unpunished, and on the eve of her delivery, he finds himself killed at the hands of Ai's deluded stalker, and he is subsequently reborn as one of her children, Aquamarine Hoshino. The glitz and glamour of showbiz hide the dark underbelly of the entertainment industry and threaten to dull the shine of his favourite star. So can he help his new mother rise to the top of the charts, and what will he do when unthinkable disasters strike? It's a bit weird.
It's an isekai, but it's the same world.
Well, he yeah. It's a isn't a guy.
We finally made it happen, boys.
Is it Kai?
So this has been really massive in Japan. It has been really well received, but it is also a very odd concept. And I think that's going to be kind of the make or break for it. For us, it's beautifully
The
animated.
design? Oh my goodness. I watched the trailer before it got subbed, so I had no idea what was going on. I thought the kids were just massive fans.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like her spirit passed on to them.
Yeah.
'Cause, like she's got 2 stars, one in each eye.
Yeah.
And the twins have a star in opposing eyes to each other.
Yep, and their eye colors are she has purple eyes and one has red and one has blue.
Yeah.
So
It's really cute design work.
yeah. Also, just the character design's beautiful.
Yes.
It's listed with 11 episodes by Disney Plus Japan, so we do think this might be
Disney.
a Disney. It's fine. The first episode is airing with a 90-minute slot.
Dang.
So it's an hour. It's a film. Sorry, it's 90 minutes, an hour and a half.
You don't normally see that.
You do not. Demon Slayer is doing the same. We'll come to that in a minute. But
It's taking a running start.
yeah, so they're basically doing a triple episode. So you're getting 3 episodes, and then there's another 10 to follow it. So realistically, you've got a 13 episode season here. This is going to be big. Like, this is probably going to be one of the biggest of this year.
Move over, Mashal. We know we just put you on a pedestal.
No. Mashal is going to be the best for comedy.
Yeah.
Well,
Mashal's going to be the shonen.
Yeah.
Mashal will be top 5 parody comedy easily.
Is there many of those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's too many of them.
Yeah. This is being animated by Doga Kobo. They did My Senpai's Annoying, Ikebukuro Westgate Park, Sing Yesterday for Me, Sleepy Princess and the Demon Castle. Like, they've got a wide range and a good skill set and everything shiny. And this does look absolutely stunning. So I'm really excited for this. I know Tifa is literally like biting at the edge of the desk in excitement for this, like if she was here and not jumping on a flight to Japan.
Do you reckon she's going to be able to watch it there?
They're apparently having an event in Tokyo for it, and she's hoping she can get tickets to it. So
Lucky girl.
yeah.
Mad jelly.
So that's 17 days away until it starts. It airs on April 12th, which should be, I believe, when she's in Tokyo, because I think she was starting West Coast and heading east.
Wicked.
So
How
fingers
long
crossed.
are we missing her for? How many episodes? Like 2, 3?
Only one episode. So it's 2 weeks. She's there for 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks, and she gets back just in time for episode 100.
That ain't
So
long.
she's missing this one because of it. And
She
then
flies today.
Yeah, and then she's missing the next one.
Yeah,
because
so
of it.
2.
And then, okay.
Yeah. But look, she'll be back for so the next episode after this is extra, because we've been putting off talking about a certain live action, which we'll come to at the end of this episode. Yep. It's not that one. Remember, we're doing that one as a live stream. We'll cover that at the end of the episode.
Are we
as
talking
well.
about the new Power Rangers series?
Actually, there's new Power Rangers
Yeah.
with the original Power Rangers
Yeah.
Wait, what?
coming out April 12th. And the way
Really?
they've done it is Trini's daughter has taken over the mantle, and she died. Trini died at the hands of Rita, so that's how they explained her not being there for the thing.
Wow.
It's man,
That's pretty
Wait,
cool.
Rita's found a new body and come back.
Are they going to be following the comics?
I don't know.
I mean, do you remember the guy who does
Tommy, the Green Ranger, Green White.
No. I'm talking about a director here. The guy who was in charge of Castlevania, Adi Shakir, I think.
Oh, yeah.
He made like his dark, gritty reboot of Power Rangers,
Oh,
where
yes.
where
Yeah,
Tommy's
Tommy's the
character
bad guy,
becomes
King
the bad
Dragon.
guy.
Tommy basically takes over the evil castle and starts invading other dimensions and
Yeah.
destroying all the Power Rangers.
And taking all their medallions.
There's a fighting game based on it. It's
Yes.
so cool.
Yeah, it's Power / Ranger, and it was so good. But then he had to take it down, and then a couple of years later, Mattel were like, maybe we should do that, and then they released the film, and it was great. But they didn't have any belief in it. They were just using it once again to sell more toys, and that would have been a great kicking off point because they literally introduced Tommy in the outro sequence. It's like, oh, guys. Oh,
By the way, R.I.P. Tommy.
yeah.
It's a shame we'll never get anything with him again because he was dedicated to the bit.
He was so dedicated to it. Oh, okay, but anyway, Oshinoko, this is going to be a drama, music, supernatural sign, and the music's kind of a lesser component of it, but it's
Despite it being about an idol.
it's not going to be like an idol anime where every episode is a big song and dance thing. It's just that it's the world that they're within. At least that's my understanding. Now, after that, we do have to talk about a couple of sequels. Things first. Kuma Bear Punch.
Yay!
So if you didn't catch Kuma Bear,
Kuma Cubed.
Kuma Cubed, as we love to call it.
Bears.
Yuna got her hands on the world's first VR MMO game. She was totally obsessed. Then after receiving a bear suit from the game developer, she found herself transported into the virtual world. She's now making a name for herself in this new fantasy life and is ready to encounter more friends and foes with her overpowered bear cheat suit to help along the way. She literally...
All of her powers are bears.
bear-related. It's really dumb, but really good.
It's so
And
cute
it's
and sweet.
really, really quite wholesome.
Yeah.
So
She destroys her enemies with her bare hands.
she does.
Well, she
gets
also-
bear gloves for her hands, which are little bear faces on her hands.
And then she can summon them as actual bears.
Yeah. That was in Thingy 2 as well, Fury 2. The
Oh,
pets,
yeah.
the two hammer girls got little bear pets, which then they could actually supersize and ride on.
So each one of them got a pet, so that's a Kuma and a Kuma. So they have a Kuma pair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is PG-13. It's quite family friendly. Adventure, comedy, fantasy, isekai. It's going to air Mondays at 10 p.m. and starting on April 3rd. Don't know how many episodes. It's being done by EMT Squared. They're a relatively new studio, but they did season 1. And they were the animator for Love Tyrant and I'm Quitting Heroing and Assassin's Pride. So they're not massively well-known animes, but this has probably been the one that's went biggest for them.
Pride wasn't
Assassin's Pride. Well, Love Tyrant was not good. That I've never been. Yeah, I was quite uncomfortable with that series.
Well, I mean, it's the sequel to Kuma Cubed anyway.
Yes,
so
it's going to be great.
Kuma Cubed Part 2.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Kuma.
We can't obviously not mention Demon Slayer because Demon Slayer Swordsmith Village arc is back.
And then there's the whole controversy with people going, "Oh, it's not a movie." It's like, yeah,
It never
they
was a
never
movie.
advertised
It
as
was
a movie.
never a movie.
So just to clarify this for anyone who might still be going, the Demon Slayer Swordsmith Village arc event at the cinemas right now is not a film. It is the last.
Is it still going?
It is in some regions internationally.
Damn.
It is the last 2 episodes of the previous anime arc and the feature length episode special for the first episode of the anime, and it includes some additional bits and pieces. The reason they did this was to celebrate the fact that it was returning and because of the hype. And from UFO Table's standpoint, it's a really smart way to keep the hype train going when, in preparation for the new
Train.
series. Yes. Because, they UFO Table does have those big gaps between stuff every now and then.
Or is it UFO table?
Yeah.
I guess.
It's UFO Table, and because that's what the way people in Japan said it, and the logo is a UFO.
Okay.
So, yeah. Everyone goes UFO-table, and it's like,
Table.
no. Table. It is R-rated. It's going to air on Sundays at 11:15 p.m., which is a very odd time slot for
They
us.
got an R rating?
Yeah, the previous season was R-rated too.
Hot diggity dang!
Yeah,
Wicked.
because they want to stay as faithful to the manga. Like, I do appreciate UFO Table for this. Like,
Well, I mean, hopefully they don't stay too accurate to the manga because the manga's style in some spots is very, rigid and basic, to put it simply.
oh yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, I just mean like the way the story is told.
storytelling, yeah.
So that starts on April 9, so we do have another couple of weeks till it hits off. But it is starting with that 1 hour special. I don't think we've been given a listing on how many episodes it's going to be yet, but in all likelihood it'll be 12.
Yeah.
Like
It'll be the standard.
it'll be 10 or 12. I don't think we'd be getting another 24 like we had with the last arc, because this is the only part of the arc they've talked about.
As opposed to...
If I'm wrong, please let me know, because if this is going to be 2 arcs involved in it, then fantastic. But
I don't think it is.
seeing as we've got 2 Hashira as part of this story, as opposed to 1 and then 1 in another, it does feel more likely it's going to just be 1 longish arc.
Well, they've just announced this as the Swordsmith Village arc.
Yeah.
Which will just be that arc. Whereas the previous season was them putting the movie into the series and then doing the Red Light District arc.
Yeah, but the issue with last time was that they didn't mention that when they first announced the Red Light District arc. They just announced that and then said, "Oh, by the way, we're also going to put the film in."
You reckon they'll pull a fast one with this one, then do the Swordsmith Village and then a bit more?
I think they'll definitely do the lead-in for whatever the next part is, but I think this might just be a shorter run and whatnot. I mean,
don't think they can, because after this one is sort of where it starts to wrap up.
oh, really?
Have you guys not read the manga?
No.
Oh,
bit.
yeah, this is like close to the end.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought we were going to go through like all the Hashira and...
No. That's what I thought as well. Oh. Yeah. But after this, they sort of...
head towards the big finale then.
Yeah, which is... That one goes on for quite a while, so that'll probably be 2 arcs in itself.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, we're getting close to the end. Because Demon Slayer is not actually that long.
No, it's not, is it?
No.
It's only like
100 and something chapters, yeah.
Okay.
Unless they pull an Attack on Titan.
I think UFO Table are smart enough not to do that.
I think they've seen what happened and were like,
Yeah. So the action demons, historical shonen, supernatural. If you haven't seen or heard of Demon
where
Slayer,
have
Clap
you
your
been?
hands.
go check it out. It is worth your time. It is a lot of fun. It is. It balances action, comedy, drama, and intrigue really well.
Like, there's a character for everyone in it.
Yeah. This is going to be on Crunchyroll, already been confirmed. Was from a manga, as we mentioned anyway. Now, the last thing we need to talk about is because it's the end of an era. Pokemon, the animated series, has come to an end this week.
All of the sad face emojis on social media.
And they wrapped up everything. Team Rocket is gone. They've gone their separate ways, which feels weird after all these years.
Yeah, I swear people are more upset about Team Rocket disbanding than like Ash leaving. Like,
Yeah. God, yeah. Prepare for trouble. Make it double.
I mean, Ash was the driving force of the story, but they were just the heart and soul.
they were.
But the thing is ever since Team Rocket, so ever since Pokemon Gold, they never had a good other like villainous team. Like they gradually got worse and worse and worse, and now they're just like incompetent groups. Like Team Yell was a joke.
yeah.
Team whatever they are, the Team Star with their stupid like star dance thing in the current
Team
game.
4-star.
Okay, but have you finished the current game?
No.
Have you finished their plot?
I've done one of the first parts of it.
Okay, once you finish it, you understand it. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah, okay, cool. But they're not villains, are they?
They're not actually. No, they're not.
And this is the thing, like Pokemon has taken a real turn away from having traditional villains because that no one should be bad.
Well,
But then they went and
from, like,
made it official that people eat Pokemon. Like,
they went from like, oh, we're gonna steal your Pokemon to some teams that were like, we're gonna end the world.
yeah.
And it's kind of like, how do you top ending the world?
End the galaxy.
There was one who wanted to do that.
Okay.
Team Galaxy, actually.
End the universe.
Team Galactic, yeah.
Yeah. But
mean,
the thing
see,
is, like,
End the Marvel universe.
it's for kids,
Please.
Yeah.
ultimately. And like with Jesse and James in the manga, they weren't around for that long. They actually settled down and had their own kids
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
That's weird.
But that's Pokemon Adventure, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pokemon Adventure. I need to read Pokemon Adventure. It looks so good.
It's so good.
But so with Pokemon coming to an end, they've done the final run over the past few weeks where they've gone through all of Ash's final tour, if you will, and he's going to all these places he's been before. Does he go to Orange Islands? Do we know?
Oh, I don't. I think they've like forgotten about Orange Islands. It was that long ago, man.
But yeah, he's revisiting a lot of the core characters, and he's basically finishing up. And we don't know exactly what his role will be in future, but this new series which is coming out this season, and this is going to be April 14th. It starts, and it's on Friday evenings at just 5 to 7 in the evening.
Imagine only getting 2 weeks between Pokemon.
Oh, I know, right?
Like, you've been doing this for 30 years, and then you're like, finally, it's over, I can take a break. And they're like, guess what?
We're
New season. Round 2.
Fight. Ash is now 12. So this new series is following new characters. We've seen a lot of artwork and designs for it. It's Liko and Roy as they unravel the mysteries that surround them and encounter Frida, Captain Pikachu, not the same Pikachu that Ash has, Amethyst, and others during their exciting adventures. Now, this series features all of the Pokemon you'd expect. It's got all of the new series Pokemon as starters, the new starter ones. So you've got Sprigatito,
Quaxley, and Fuecoco.
yeah, the best dumb boy.
I expect Shuckle.
Nobody
We
expects
left
Shuckles.
way behind.
Shuckles should be left way
Nobody
behind.
expects
He
the
broke the
Shuckle
game.
Inquisition.
But you've also got a lot of the old Pokemon coming back as well. So you've got on the cover, there is a guy with Charizard, because of course there is. There is a Chansey. Actually, there is Shuckle on here. What the
Yes! I called it!
Shuckle's in the...
Oh, there's an Elekid as well.
Yeah. And that looks like Rayquaza in the background up there
Yeah,
too.
it is. Remember there was the shiny Rayquaza in the trailer?
There was too. And Hoot Hoot as well. And like, there's a lot. There's also a flying ship. Now, there is a theory that, as you mentioned, that the main girl character, Liko, is Ash's daughter. So we don't know if this is a time skip thing or what.
But
So
who would Ash...
There's multiple theories. One of them being Latias.
What?
as in the Pokemon.
Yeah. Would you like me to elaborate
No!
further?
That feels like it's a Patreon pre-show
Just-
thing.
No. Because in one of the movies, Latias transformed into a human.
Oh.
and
That's weird.
was quite flirty with Ash.
Damn you, 4chan!
But it can't. I can tell you it can't be because we see in the trailer her mum talking to her.
Yeah.
So that kind of rules that out because Latias is then seen back as Latias in further films.
Yeah.
So
So it could be
Latias
any of
lass.
the previous female protagonists.
Yeah.
There's
Well, she's
heavy
got-
leaning towards May or Dawn.
I was going to say she's got blue hair and blue eyes.
So probably Dawn.
Probably Dawn. I mean, Dawn does seem to be the one that kind of recurs a lot in the series.
Not as much as Misty.
Not as much as Misty, but Misty's the OG. So
Well,
you know.
also she may get that hair and eyes from her dad
Well, I mean, Ash is brown.
with black hair.
Yeah.
So like if he went with Misty, maybe different eyes, tweaks out the hair a bit. Who do you think is Ash's mum? Write down below in the comments.
Right.
Not Ash's mum, Ash's daughter's mum.
Ash's mom has got it
going on. She's got a Mr. Mom and he's freaking me out.
She's also got Professor Oak knocking on her door.
Yeah, look, that's a whole thing. But
Who's
look,
Ash's real dad?
we will still never know because in the final episodes, they're like, you're going to meet Ash's real dad. And once again, he skips town and just leaves something for Ash in a note. And it's like, are you kidding?
30 years.
30 years and you couldn't even show up in the finale. Like, how dare you? But it's like now
He's
everyone's
too
like,
busy catching Tauros.
yeah, like that's
Is
all
that,
he do.
Is that what he's...
Well, he left behind like a whole herd of Tauros for Ash.
Well, didn't Ash also like catch a whole load of them? No, that's not correct. Ash caught a bucket load of Tauros at the
Safari Park?
but that episode was never allowed to air outside of Japan because it was due to air on the same weekend as the Columbine incident, and that had Team Rocket with guns. So they
I remember
changed
we
the
talked
story
about that.
just like they did with Joey's fight in Yu-Gi-Oh! They removed any context of it and said that, his dad gifted them as a way to explain where they came from.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
Jesus.
surprise.
It's America hacking things up again.
Yeah. So, there is much more from this season to talk about. It is wild how much there is for this season. Obviously, Vinland Saga is continuing. More Attack on Titan. Dr. Stone New World, which is going to be amazing. Tonikawa Over the Moon for You Season 2, which I am so excited for.
Yay.
In Another World with My Smartphone Season 2. Can't believe it got a sequel.
Is that the title?
Yep. Summoned to Another World for a second time.
That's an isekai.
Yeah, Loving Yamada at level 999, which is a romance comedy by Madhouse.
Yeah, it's
So-
the sequel to Yamato 999.
And Interstellar 999.
999.
Legendary Hero is dead. One Hit KO's sister.
Wait. The legendary hero's dead.
Yeah.
So is that just the guy gets isekai and then dies and it's just like a murder mystery or something?
Yes.
Who killed the isekai protagonist?
Yoo-hoo!
It
Big
was.
summer blowout.
Oh my God. Actually, have a look at this. Far to the north of the world lies Hell's Gates, a portal formerly used by the Demon Lord to invade the human realms. Thanks to the legendary hero Shion Blade Arts, wielder of Excalibur, and his loyal band of companions, the gate was sealed off and the demonic threat was vanquished.
Is that the title?
The funny thing is, this is actually from a manga and not a light novel. So, unfortunately, the seal was incomplete and has begun to weaken, allowing the demons to once again begin their attack. Worried about the safety of his village, selfish and perverted farmer Toko Scott digs pitfalls to fend against the demons. But fear not, for Shion is on his way to reseal the gate and save humanity. Or at least he was. Because he's dead, having falling into one of the pitfalls Toka dug. So, dealing with the dead is the specialty of necromancer Anri Hainsworth. While she can't revive him, she can at least salvage their quest by forcing Toka's soul into Shion's rotting body and dragging him along to Hell's Gate in his place. So, yeah, basically, it's necromancy. Like, so you see what I mean? There is a lot this season that we haven't even
I can
touched
see you
on.
getting into this, Kenny.
Yeah.
This sounds
Eden
demented.
Zero Season 2, Galaxy Next Door, Dead Mount Death Play, don't know.
What?
Mobile Suit Gundam, Witch from Mercury Season 2, I believe that's going to be very good. You just keep going. There is so much. Like, there is so many good shows. Skip and Loafer, if you're a romance fan. there's no question there will be something for you this season. So make sure you go have a look at the list on livechart.me. You will find something. And with that, we're going to wrap up with a quick little bit of anime news.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
Tonight on Anime Communique.
Great story, compelling and rich.
Nothing brings ratings up like a little controversy.
We're Scottish here. All right. Let us. Well, let's
Established titles.
Let's talk about controversy first up. And the controversy is that this isn't airing soon enough. Digimon Adventure 02 film has unveiled its visual, its promo video, and its October 27 premiere in cinemas. It's going to take, there's a Digi Festival 2023 event on July 30th where apparently even more about the film is going to be unveiled.
That last movie was sadness.
This is a continuation.
No.
So
You
we are,
beat me to it.
we're going to be going to the cinema and holding hands and crying.
Yep.
But interestingly, it is called Digimon Adventure 02 The Beginning.
Now, do you know why?
I believe this is to do with the original.
Digidestined.
Yeah.
Not
the
the
beginning of
Digidestined we
sadness.
saw, but the original, way before them.
Oh.
So he comes along and he asks, I'm pretty sure it's a he,
Yeah.
comes along and asks for help from the O2 gang, which was, Davis, Yoli,
Yeah.
Cody, TK, and
These
Kari.
kids.
Kari, and what was his name? It's not Willis, that's the kid from the movie. Ken.
Whatever happened to that guy?
Well, technically it was an OVA, so...
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they've got Ukon, a Digimon who looks like a slippery marine creature and who is key to the plot.
Cthulhu.
Oh, it's like a little marine angelmon if it was rookie level.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. And there's a bit of a suggestion in the trailer and all the artwork we've seen before that this is potentially about preventing the loss of connection between the Digidestined and their partners as they age, which is, what we saw happen in the last film. Like they had to grow up and leave their Digimon partners behind. So I wonder if it'll be a case that it's actually a trap and there is no way to prevent it.
You mean like they did in the first movie?
Yeah. Actually, now that I've said that, I feel dumb.
They're just going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
That's going to be every movie now.
Low key, my hope for this is because when the previous movie came out, they released Digimon Adventure 2020.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they do Digimon 02 2023.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hoping they get a series too.
Because this was my favorite Digimon series. It introduced like DNA Digivolution as a proper concept.
Yeah.
Instead of just a once-off in a movie. Mm-hmm. And oh man, my boys. Vemon's my favorite. So
I have got a soft spot for Vemon.
well, okay, little lore here. Vemon was the original Digimon partner.
Oh.
In the original manga. And he actually digivolved into Veedramon. And then what was it? Is it Air Veedramon? And then All Force Veedramon, which is like this superhero, like big bulky.
Yep.
All Force. That's a bit
Actually,
like
you're wearing your Digidevice shirt too.
I'm wearing my Digivice shirt.
Nice.
I've got all of them from like 1 through to 6.
Oh man, it's getting me excited. I might have to go back and play more of Cyber Sleuth.
Yes.
So yeah, that's coming out at the that'll probably be end of the year for us. So October 27th premiere that in Japan. So November, December, January maybe.
Yeah, we'd be lucky for early next year.
Yeah. The 12th episode of Trigun Stampede has announced that the final phase of the series has been greenlit and is going into production. So that is going to continue the story and wrap it up. So that suggests we're going to have a 24-episode run, which is kind of on par with the original series. And it will wrap up all of the parts of it. So that's also been announced. Also announced literally today, because we record on the Sundays, Spy X Family Season 2 and a film are going to debut at the end of the year.
I thought we already had Season 2.
No, we had Season 1 Core 2. Yeah, I know, split season. Yeah. So Spy X Family reveals second season anime will premiere in October. and the film will debut on December 22nd in Japan. The film is called Spy X Family Code White Geki Joban, and it looks like it is going to be an original story, at least from what we have seen so far. It is also once again going to continue being produced by Wit Studio and Cloverworks in collaboration, so we will still have that beautiful animation work that they put up for the first one.
Did you see that they had a live action stage play for Spy Family?
Yeah.
And the creator had no idea what the actual plot was for it, so he went in and watched it, and it blew his mind to watch them all singing. He was I can't believe this. This is wild.
I mean, just sort of imagine being George Lucas and being invited to a Star Wars musical. You'd be just like, holy hell, what's going on?
Okay, funny you mentioned that. One of the content creators we all like, Brental Floss.
Yep.
He's released his Star Trek parody stage play called Khan.
Oh, God.
Oh, no.
Okay. we will, that's a whole other kettle of fish. More new stuff.
Why would you put fish in the
Horimiya
kettle?
is getting a second season. Fish in the kettle. Oh, my God. Horimiya is getting a second season. How, you ask? Well, it's called Horimiya Peace. As in Piece. It is going to animate stories in the original manga that previously were not adapted.
It's a new age of piracy and they're chasing the Horimiya
Horimiya Peace. I think this is just going to really focus on the side characters and a couple of the fun stories that they didn't have a chance to showcase. So it's probably, I'm going to be honest, I don't feel it's going to do as well as the original series did, because the original series had really good pacing, and this is just going to feel more like a set of OVAs.
I reckon maybe.
So similar to Slime Diaries, just without having any context for where it was placed. So, yeah.
Slime Diaries, but for Horimiya? I don't know.
Yeah.
I reckon that sounds
It's
all right.
Cloverworks again as well. A full returning cast, full returning staff, full returning team. It's going to be great. So if you like the original Horimiya, it's just more, and you'll enjoy it. So
It's nice.
So, yeah. Then there is Jujutsu Kaisen second season is confirmed for July 6th premiere, and we've got a trailer out as well now. My Hero Academia season 7 also confirmed with Romy Park to voice Star and Stripe.
Oh.
So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. And
Guess where Star and Stripe is from?
Australia. France. Bonjour, I am Stars and Stripes. I like the cheeseburger.
No, it's not the cheeseburger. The Royale with cheese. And now
You
this...
know what they call a Royale with cheese in America, don't you?
Now, this is the one that Aaron told us about that hasn't really done big rounds, but looks amazing. The creator of Fire Force is teaming up with Nier Automata's Yoko Taro on an original anime. So, this is going to be wild. So, this is Fire Force and Soul Eater with Nier Automata animation style. It's just released its first trailer, and it's called Kamiyariabi, the God App. It is slated to go live in autumn. So, that would be October.
Yeah.
Interested.
It is very good looking, so I can highly recommend checking it out. We will make sure we pop a link to it in the video audio description. Comicbook.com reported on it, which I was really surprised by.
Okay, I mean, we've seen what happens when a production has a lot of like different kind of creative groups thrown into it. Jimmy Arte. But
This has two strong names, which is very promising.
And not only that, they're two strong names that have been seen previously collaborating with others to create animation before. So we know they can work in a team. They didn't fail that uni assignment.
You mean every uni assignment?
Yeah. So looks really good. Very excited.
I'm very intrigued to see what can come of this because that guy's storytelling style is wild.
It is.
Which one? Yes?
Yes. Oh God.
Cool. And that
Yes. The answer is yes.
The
This
answer
is
is
gonna
always
be
yes.
drugs.
All right. Now, we need to wrap up because we are close, but that is the anime news for the week. We will be back in 2 weeks, and I'll explain all that in just a moment.
Kawaii-Fi Radio.
That is probably my only regret about the new Trigun is that they didn't include HT in it in somewhere. Like, don't be wrong, the OP's beautiful, the ending's pretty good as well, but HT is just so cool.
I cannot get enough of the opening. Every time I play this, I just drop everything and I'm like, yeah.
So, that's where we're going to leave things for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. This did end up being quite a rambly long one, but it was a lot of fun.
A lot of tangents.
Yeah.
A lot of silliness.
Next time, it is a Kawaii-Fi extra as we prepare for our 100th episode. It is the Promised Netherland live-action film from Japan.
My God, it's a shame that show never got a second season.
Yeah, just a weird bunch of OVAs which didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Like, what a strange choice.
And even those can't be said to have happened.
No. Now, if you have enjoyed what you've heard, as always, hit subscribe, join us for the future episodes. We are on YouTube, we are on all podcasting apps. If we're not on your podcasting app of choice, let us know in the description below. We hit almost all of them, I think, but there are always opportunities we could miss.
TikTok doesn't count.
Oh, YouTube is starting to introduce podcasting.
Oh.
Like direct upload audio podcasts.
Interesting.
So that might be interesting. But we've got a whole thing that's going to happen around that after episode 100. So we'll get into that later. Now, if you would like to support the channel, we do have a Patreon you can subscribe to. $1 a month gets you access to episode outtakes, video extras, and show updates. And if you can afford to support us, it would be greatly appreciated.
We talk a lot of weird, nonsensical stuff before the show.
It's also like all of the stuff we can't say under a PG rating as well. And all of the money that goes to the Patreon is reinvested into the podcast. It
Into
isn't
bread episode.
It isn't for paying us. Because
We're going to have to do that bread episode.
we are going to have to do that bread
We
episode.
have to do that bread episode. It's been how long?
Bread. I've been doing nothing but teleporting bread for 3 days. So look, if you can afford to support us, it'd be greatly appreciated. There's lots of goofy stuff there, and it means we can talk to you more directly and hear your feedback and thoughts and ideas.
It also gives you access to the Patreon area of our
Discord. Yeah.
Which we actually use a lot more than any other area, and we interact frequently on that.
Use Discord.
I know. It's been a bit like that lately, though. We've had a lot on the plates. Now, if you do want to join the Kawaii-Fi community, there are other options. You've got all of our social media channels as well. For breaking anime news, which we kind of stopped doing for a little bit, well, is coming back as of this week, along with memes and videos. So you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Discord, TikTok. The TikTok's kind of...
Aaron's going to hijack it for a week at some stage.
We'll see what happens.
You're going to end up with the wildest content.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you when it's going to be. It's just going to happen.
It's going to happen. So go like that. But
Controversy.
Yeah. So that's that. I don't think there's... Oh, I forgot to mention, Jobless Reincarnate has a second season release date announced as well, with a new trailer too. So there's a lot coming up. And we'll be here to guide you through it. So with that, you've been listening to Kawaii-Fi Radio. Thank you so much for joining us. And until next time, watch some anime!
Or whatever the other thing we said was.